And we are back with the Astro Room, your very own portal to the cosmos, where we are going to explain some of the latest features of the Seestar, the newest updates, and what I feel are the best updates that we've gotten in the Seestar. I'm going to talk about intelligent denoising feature, which is also known as AI denoising. Yep, that's right. Artificial intelligence denoising is here. And what that function does is it reduces your image noise, gives you clearer, more detailed images. And I'm going to go into planned shooting, which you can now automate, schedule your astrophotography sessions. So super convenient, improves efficiency, saves you time, great for long duration imaging. And then I'll talk about Mosaic Mode. Let's do it. So if we start with intelligent denoising, how does that work? Well, after you've finished an image, if you go to your album, so I'm here on the home page, right? You go to your album, click on not saved, but you clicked on Seestar. So let's try it with the Lagoon Nebula, also known as M8. Click on the little AI denoise. It's going to take about 15 seconds. Let's see how well it reduces noise in the image. Let's see how much clearer this image could really look. Which you could say basically it's reducing my light pollution. Whoop! There it is. Reducing my light pollution in an instant. And I live in Bortle 7, Bortle 8 skies. So this is really good. I kind of almost feel like I went from a Bortle 8 to a Bortle 4 or something. Like this is really good. Now if you click on COMP up here, it's compare the image before and after. There it is. You kind of hold it down. It'll show you how it was before. So, I mean, significant improvement. This is significant improvement. This is beautiful. And then, of course, you can download and save it. I've already done that. And I'll show you the comparison images. Here we go. So this is the original. It's only 8 minutes, right? Only 8 minutes. And then here is the 8 minutes of stacking of Lagoon Nebula denoised with AI, right? Built-in AI into the Seestar. Like, how cool is that? Okay, so let's try it with another object. Should we do M13? We're going to try a couple of objects here. Let's try this. I mean, already looking pretty cool, but can it get better? I'm sure it can. Yeah. This is a lot clearer. You know, I mean, we should crop it, right? But it looks a lot better. We can compare to the old one. And let's look at some other ones here. Oh, let's do Veil Nebula. So this image actually has star trail here, satellite trail. Pretty bad. It's pretty bad that it didn't take it out while it was stacking, and I probably stopped the stacking too early, and, you know, it is what it is, but let's try to denoise. See if it'll get that image a little bit clearer. Definitely a lot better. Now, I didn't remove the satellite trail, the star trail, but I mean, this looks way better. What's cool is I can rotate the angle if I want it like this better. That is actually pretty cool. That is really cool. Oh, I love this. Yep, and if I want to save it, download, image saved. Let's go look at that. Did it crop it automatically for me there, just like I told? Oh! Yeah. I mean, that's really cool. So, if you guys notice that it saves automatically to your photo album on your tablet, right? Whatever tablet you're using. You just have to minimize your Seestar app and it's going to be right there in your photo album. I mean, that's neat. I like it. I mean, hey, it went from that to what we just saw. That's good. All right, so let's try now plan shooting and how does that work? Now, on your home page, right there it says plan. You click on plan. You create a plan. You name it. Let's say I just want to do galaxies and nebulas for the night. Confirm. And now you click on add. So now it has a grid for you here with the time. Now you can say, okay, you've got your altitude, declination, your coordinates there, so you know if it's visible in your night sky. You've got your hours. How long do I want this to keep going? And you're going to drag this. Okay, so let's say I want IC 434, or I want it to get to this one, horsehead. So let's say I wanted to start capturing this image at 2000 hours, and I wanted to do it for an hour, so from 20 to 2100 hours. And then if you're done, if that's what you want, of course you can do it longer, right? I want this for 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, so 1 a.m. But let's say I just want 1 hour, just capture for 1 hour. After I'm done setting that up, I click on the check mark right here. Now, if I want to set up another one, find your object that you want to set up, right? I'm just going to click on anything here. Let's say I want Andromeda. Locate the target. Select your framing if you need to. Okay, I'm going to ignore that right now, right? If you want to do mosaic mode, but let me get out of that. But just as an example, select your framing if you want. Click on add. And now I want Andromeda later. Okay, I want it to start right after it's done with the other object. And I want this running for 2 hours from 2100 to 2300, right? And you can't put it on top of this one. It's not going to let you because it's going to say it overlaps. Look at this. Time cannot overlap. Obviously. I mean, I just wanted to show it, but so now you're going to do from 2100 2300. Boom. There you go. Now, in all reasonableness, it probably wouldn't really be possible because it looks like it's going to be under the field of view, as it's yeah, it might be too low to capture, but I'm just using this for demonstration purposes, right? Let's get another object. Let's say now I want, I don't know, the Pleiades. Add. Okay. And I want to run this until 5 a.m. Let's do it from 23 to 5 a.m. Boom. It's too low. Target altitude angle less than 0 degrees cannot be added. So if it obviously there's going to be nothing in your field of view. It's gone. So maybe I'll only be able to get it for 30 minutes or something. Let me try until this one here. It let me add it. It still somehow might be visible. So, but this is really cool for those of you that have tried it. For those of you that love it or don't like it, let us know in the comments. But this is pretty cool. And then if I go back to plan, there's my plan, galaxies and nebulae. And then to start it, you're going to click on execute. You can then rename, delete the plan, create a copy of it, right? So you want to rename it. You don't like the name galaxies and nebulae anymore. You just want it to be named galaxies. That's totally fine too. You just, whatever you want to name it with your name on it. But yeah, whenever you're ready to go, just hit execute. Now, while I've been doing this video in the background, I have the Horsehead Nebula and Flame Nebula. Let's try and artificially intelligence denoise this. See how it looks. As it's still stacking. I'm still stacking, but let's check this out. Oh, I mean, that That's awesome. Wow. I mean, what's so cool about this, like I was mentioning, it just seems like it went from my Bortle skies just completely got better significantly. I can only imagine if you already live in like Bortle 4 and you use your denoise. I mean, must look amazing. This is awesome. I'm gonna save this. I mean, I'm not even done imaging, but this looks great. I mean, look at the difference. Look at how bad this looks right now. Then again, I wouldn't say horribly bad, but I mean, my light pollution is insane and the noise is wild on here, but play a little bit with that. Will it denoise after even more? Not enough stars. Okay, wait, it's stacking. Let's see how this switches up the denoise. Oh, so just me playing with it. Let me download this. Made it a little bit better. Oh. Well, yep, that is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Wow, so you can try to adjust your image. 11 minutes of stacking. Okay, so I recommend that you start stacking your image. Excuse me, start to mess with your own adjustment of your contrast and saturation. I might have overdone it there a little bit, but just wanted to try to make a point of AI denoise and how well it works. Yeah, so that's what I recommend. You can just go ahead and do your own adjustments and take it from there and then do AI denoise. But either way works wonderful. I just want to take a quick minute to say thank you so much for watching, and this video in no way is sponsored. So if you'd like to show some support, feel free to click on the link in the description of Buy Me a Coffee. You can feel free to donate, send me a thanks. And I'm always very thankful of any donations. Anyone that ever gives a donation and writes to me, I always reply to every single comment. So thank you so much. I appreciate everyone's support. Okay, so let's move on now to Mosaic Mode. Mosaic Mode expands your field of view, captures your object in full. In other words, it's going to stitch together multiple frames to capture your larger deep sky objects. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to do why not Orion Nebula? Why not? Locate target. And this is how we do it. So we're going to click on framing. And you see how right now the Orion Nebula doesn't fully fit in this frame, right? In this field of view. So what we do is we move this slider down here over. And then that way we can capture more of the Orion Nebula as much as possible. And if you notice, as you're moving this slider over to the right, it actually starts telling you how long it will take for you to expect the final image. For instance, if I want it in the original mode within 15 minutes, right? It says recommended shooting duration is about 15 minutes. But if you start to expand the field of view here, now it's telling me an hour and 7 minutes, right? You go a little bit more, almost 2 hours, an hour and 53 minutes, if you can see that down there. So let's do this instead. 1.5 expanded field of view, and it says 1 hour and 7 minutes. And depending on what your target is, you can also rotate the angle, which is very cool. Now, this is even better for something like, let's say, Andromeda Galaxy. Let me use that as an example and get out of here. By the way, you want to reset so it can go back to what it was when you're done with your object or when you want to move on to another one. But as an example of how that angle rotation works, if we go to Andromeda, so this might be a better example here. You see how it's obviously way too big for the frame, for the field of view. So we click on frame, and as we zoom, let's say we want the whole thing. And you notice it's going to take some time, an hour and 53 minutes. If you click on then the rotation angle, Because you see that it still doesn't really have the whole thing in there, right? Even if I were to move this a little bit, which is good that you can also move this, by the way, wherever you want it, but it's still missing some pieces. So go back to framing, rotate your angle. So after the plus sign right here on the right, this little option right here, just to rotate the angle. And literally that's what it does. So that way you can get your full, yes, Andromeda Galaxy right there without leaving any of it out. And you can position this wherever you want. This is pretty awesome. Now, I'll show you guys an example. I did Andromeda Galaxy. I didn't fully finish it to where I did the almost 2 hours, but as it starts to stitch together the images, this is how it started to look. I ended up having too many clouds come in, so I stopped it. It didn't quite work for me, only because of the clouds. Not that the mosaic mode does not work. It works wonderful, but as you see, it was trying to get more of the image. But let me right now, the best object in my view is not going to be Andromeda. Andromeda is blocked by a building, so I want to try M42 Orion Nebula, like I said. And go back to framing. Open this up. I think I only need just about this much. So I just want to show an example of how this is going to look. A little preview of what exactly this does. Go to it. Gonna autofocus first before I even start. This is already looking pretty cool, but you see how it's gonna start to stitch the images together. But you see how this now superimpose another image here on top, right? And it's gonna keep doing that till this fills up. As it continues capturing the images, stacking them. And if we go back to the stargazing map here, it's kind of interesting that you can see it kind of, I'm assuming it's kind of like rotating the field of view here. The lens is the Seestar itself it's showing you how it's doing it, how it moves around. Check it out. Look at this. This is very, very, very cool. How could you not love this? You see how that moved? That is very cool. There's proof right there. You see how that jumped? I didn't do anything. I didn't touch anything. This is awesome. Let me know in the comments what's been some of your favorite images that you've gotten on Mosaic Mode that you're very proud of. And I love the fact that the Seestar decided to give us this update without us needing to get another Seestar, as in the new Seestar S30, right? I was worried that they're gonna incorporate it into a new model that we'd have to get Mosaic. But I mean, they had promised Mosaic no matter what, and I trusted that. I think all of us did. And we've been patiently waiting for so long, and now it's been out for a while. But yeah, it's definitely delivered. They've delivered their promise, so I love it. Now, if you try to do AI denoise, artificial intelligence denoise, while it's live stacking, doesn't do it. So it says the image is incomplete. AI denoise cannot be performed. So we have to wait until it's done. Let's see if AI denoise, I'm going to stop this mosaic mode action right now just to see if AI denoise will work on an object that I will not do mosaic for. This is cool. This is great. Go and do your denoising under Seestar, not under saved. You're going to go under Seestar. Let's denoise the M42 Orion. Click the little wand. The bummer is that even after, because I stopped this too early, it's not letting me denoise. Check it out. The image mosaic is incomplete. AI denoise cannot be performed. That's what it says. So we cannot denoise an incomplete image. I'm going to try it with this one. This one is very incomplete. Cannot. Another one that I did the other day. Not going to do it. Now this M31 looks horrible, right? There's too much noise in this image, is what I mean. But this was before Mosaic Mode. Like, I did not do any framing mosaic. This was before Mosaic Mode even came out. Before I'd even tried it, I should say. It's gonna denoise. It's gonna denoise. So the regular image will denoise. Huge difference. Reduced a lot of the noise. Comparing it with the old one. Look at that. You compare. Click on compare. You see this? It doesn't stand for computer. It stands for compare. I used to think it was computer, but it's compare. Yeah. And then, of course, you can continue editing your image down here with the brightness, saturation, things like that. But, I mean, big difference.